What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 19. I added this cool little swivel chair that I'm going to start doing videos on. You can see this view, finally. And I sometimes, this isn't what I'm going to talk about, but I sometimes literally just sit on this couch over here and just stare in awe at the place that my life has brought me to. My business partner is fortunate. Is fortunate enough that my business partner is letting me stay in this place, so he owns it. But it's just absolutely gorgeous, and it really does put you in a different state of mind, being in a place like this and having a view like this. And so I'm grateful for it every single morning when I wake up. So today's topic is not about my current state, but rather something that happened at the beginning of this year, and something that's really interesting and I want to tap back into. So at the beginning of this year, I was not in a good mental state. From the month of December to January, I was in probably the worst mental state of my entire life. And I've written a whole post on it. It's going to be up at some point, so I won't go into all of the details. But what I want to talk about today is how I overcame that, how I was able to snap out of it and pull myself up and achieve a lot of things that I didn't think I would be able to just days, weeks before. So basically, when I got to around January, I was feeling pretty shitty, pretty bad, and I think it was I never saw a therapist or any psychiatrist, but I'm pretty sure it was depression, and still sneaks back up occasionally. But what I did was early in January, I flew here to Austin. I officially moved here, and I made some radical life changes. I started waking up at 5 a.m., downing a couple massive mugs of coffee, and following a pretty strict routine. I would work out first thing in the morning, and then I would meditate, and then I would do some writing, and then I would just grind, and I would accomplish a tremendous amount every single day. And I got into, more important even than how much I accomplished, was the state that I'm trying to tap back into. I haven't been in it lately, but when I'm in this state, it's just almost like I'm a different person. It's like the things that scare me, entrepreneurially, things that create the most resistance for me, whether that's sales calls or working on high impact work or whatever that is at the moment. When I'm in this state, they become exhilarating. They still can be a little scary, but sometimes they're not. And they become tremendously exciting. They become like an adventure, like a hunt. Like, yes, of course it's scary, but I can taste blood. I can taste the kill, or the fun. It's more fun. And so I went through this period of about 2 weeks where I just went from being in probably the worst mental state of my life to being in probably the best mental state of my life, certainly up there. And I just accomplished a tremendous amount, signed up a bunch of new clients for my company, crushed it, delivered a ton of value to them, still working with all of them, made some tremendous breakthroughs in terms of the business itself. And all of this was due to getting up early, drinking a ton of coffee, which I overestimated how long I'd be able to keep that up. I'll touch on that in a minute. Just sticking to this strict regimen, and more importantly, this mental state that I was able to tap into and stay into, and that I want to learn how to tap into at will, because if I could tap into this state even 80% of the time, the things that I could accomplish, I can only imagine. and I'm not in it right now, but I've been experimenting with structure and different things in my psychology to try to tap back into it. So what ultimately happened was I stopped drinking coffee, and I guess I had developed dependency on coffee, so I just started sleeping a ton. And I think a lot of that was also because I'd been stressed for about a year, and I just went into this period of like over a month, literally, of just sleeping a lot. And anyway, I have a whole post on this that I'll share when it gets published. And so you watching right now will get to see the whole story and all the nitty-gritty details. But I wanted to touch on this specific portion today because it's on the top of my mind, and I think it's really interesting. And it's something that I'm trying to tap back into. If you have experiences of tapping into this state where your fears just become adventures, let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing people's stories about this, and it actually can help me understand the nuances of how best to tap into it. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's super late, but I squeezed it in, and I'll put out another one tomorrow.